what are you doing now to try and increase that gravitational pull and mass of yourself, intellectually, spiritually, and physically?
Well, first let's talk about the results.
Right.
What has the gravitas, right? That's the Latin of gravity, gravitas, the ability to gravitate towards, the ability to pull towards. What has it pulled towards? 150,000 aspiring entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs from 70 countries waiting to get into Capital Club. So your concept is based on what? Natural law. Natural law is beyond the opinions of men. It is fundamental, and it can be applied to any aspect of life if so you choose to perceive it that way. So when you talk about, okay, all these things that Luke is going to say, what do they yield? Well, it's yielded 150,000 hungry, desiring entrepreneurs that want to win, or aspiring entrepreneurs ready to join Capital Club. That's the end result. Perfect. You want an end result of do $369 times 10% of whatever that number I gave you. Just whatever that is, perfect. Let me give you the framework as to how you can achieve it. 1, your reputation must be unassailable. Your reputation must be pristine. Who you say you are, that is who you must become and who you must be. Hypocrisy does not work. You have to be authentic. Authenticity is what matters. That's number 1. The idea of being fake, first of all, doesn't work anymore. 2, it's expensive in energy. Why? Because acting, it's tiring. Number 1. Number 2 is your mindset. Understanding that unless you have a goal, you're not going to arrive anywhere. You have a goal, but then you need a habit and the patterns. We were talking about the idea of establishing these habits. Habits is this concept of habitat. So the ecosystem that you create around your action is also important. So if you don't want to have junk food, well, don't have junk food in your house. If you don't want to eat candy, well, then just don't have candy in the pantry. If you're gonna smoke weed and well, I got the munchies, well, just make sure that your kitchen is just clean of all the junk food. Why? Because you're creating the habitat so that the seed of effort, when you input it, that it yields result. The last thing you want to do is create an environment where you're fighting against yourself, dude. All these people are like, dude, I'm focused on girls, like I want to get, but every single
But they
weekend,
live in Miami.
Every single weekend they go out. They are on every single dating app. Every single time that they're supposed to be doing their work, they're out here interacting with women. And it's not the issue that you can't interact with women, it's the problem that your goal is misaligned with your actions. And if you want something, your actions need to reflect that what you want. You can't want something and then want another 1,000 other things that are the antithesis of that which you want. Because just like you have critical mass, you also have the black hole, which absorbs critical mass. So you need to observe these things, these little gaps in your life that are absorbing your potential to grow, and you need to mitigate them. So we often talk about the things that we need to do, but we often don't talk about the frameworks as to the things that we need to avoid. And many times in life, which is the beauty, it's not so much about how much you have, but oftentimes it's about getting rid of a lot of the things that you do have. I'll give you an example. Who would have most pleasure? Let's say an emperor who's enjoying the finest meat in the world, or a slave who hasn't eaten for 3 days and gets invited for a bowl of soup after, being extremely hungry. Who experiences true pleasure and joy of that experience? Who's truly wealthy in that situation? And that's the paradox in the antithesis of life. It's about the framework and the positioning of where you are. So it's not so much about what do I need to add to my life to get better? No. What do I need to get rid of? What's the baggage that's holding me back? Get rid of those things. Fast from what you put through your eyes. Fast from what you listen. Fast from what you consume. In every aspect of your life. Clean, purge from these things. And then once you detox, well, then you begin to grow. Most people, they're not healthy. Therefore, they cannot operate out of a state of health. If your brain isn't functioning well, if your gut isn't functioning well, how are you going to trust your opinions, your decision-making process? No. First, you need to heal yourself. You need to enter a state of normality, because most of you guys are sick. Most people are sick. And then you make decisions out of that place. So cut out the bullshit. Focus on the little things in your life that you're doing well, and the rest you get incorporated over time. This is the best way to not be overwhelmed and it's very practical for all of us. Look in the mirror, ask yourself the 5 first things that come to mind that you need to change, and start there.
What's the most humbling experience you have ever had in your entrepreneurship journey?
I think the success.
How so?
It's just nice to see that people honor authenticity. It's humbling that people support me in this journey of building Capital Club. So I'm building it out of a state not of pride of like, look what I'm building. It's like, yo, like, this is cool, guys. Like, we're doing this together. Like, it's a humbling experience. So it's not so much the negative things that have humbled me. I've learned from those things, and actually those things have made me more courageous. The things that have humbled me is when you actually see a win and you don't position yourself in a pedestal as if you've accomplished something grandiose. If you're playing a video game, you have no pride attached in getting to the next level. You just realize like, hey, it's just the next level of the game. And if you operate outside of that state, that when you get to the next level, you're like, dude, I'm humbled. Why? Because you realize how big the fucking game is. The more money I've made, the more humble I've become, because the bigger fish I see in the pond, I'm like, holy shit, like this thing's crazy. I am nobody. So what do? I don't cower. No, I need to continue becoming better. Why? Not because I'm competing, because I understand how big the potential is. So it's not that I'm competing, I observe the potential, and then I take and I create the life that I want. So it's like Colin said, it's this like concept of, it's not just about making money. It's how do you wake up? Do you have peace? Do you have a loving family? Do you wake up? Do you enjoy your health? Or are you sick? Are you ill? Are you unhappy? Is the only thing that you have a balanced checkbook? If that's all you have, then you don't have much. So when we talk about these concepts of a wealth and a developed mind, and a developed mind is humbled by growth. It is not arrogant, because growth teaches you how much more you have to learn. So that's what I would say, bro. The success is teaching me a lot more than I expected.
I think that's a really good answer, and I think the common theme that I'm getting from both of you guys can really be summarized into gratitude, right? And the first time that I believe, truly connected with God and spirituality was during my entrepreneurship journey, because I had a number of big windfalls, right? Because you guys know, like I know that entrepreneurship goes like this, right? Maybe you make a lot of money one month and then you have a couple hard months, right? And every time that I would have a big successful period, I would begin to become arrogant, right? And what I realized as I reflect is that I wasn't sitting down and being truly grateful and expressing thankfulness to the source, right? And acknowledging the fact that this can't be me, right? This can't just be me. This is bestowed upon me by something larger. And I legitimately believe, Colin, because you just said, right, you can't drink the Kool-Aid, that the only way to stay in alignment and to continually live in abundance is to be so humble that you are continuously and constantly expressing gratitude to something that is not yourself.
You know what they say is often the most humble of people? The farmers. Why? Because they understand the toil, the labor, the dedication, but you are the farmer of your own soil, of your own life. There's this famous clip of Kobe Bryant after winning the second game of a playoff, and they say, hey, are you happy? And he's like, why would I be happy? The job's not done. So when you win a battle, you just won a battle. It's just another day. That's why when you became a millionaire, it didn't feel any different, because you just realized, well, just another battle. It's not the final war. So those people that are attached to winning those small battles is because, well, they have no long-term scope or long-term goal. So their pride is attached in their short-term action. And when you have a short-term mindset, well, you have a short-term fuse. And what happens is you often blow up. So when you have a long-term horizon, you begin to do long-term business with long-term people, then things go well. And like we said before, there's a reason why billionaires have white hair, because it takes a lifetime to get rich. And if you understand that and you frame that in perspective, now you don't have to walk around acting like you have everything together. You understand that, hey, we're on this journey, we're in our 20s, we're in our 30s, we're just figuring this shit out, let's figure it out together. Easy. Life often has the ability to place you back in the game where you belong. So if you make too much money and you haven't become that type of person that deserves that money, you'll lose it.
For sure.
And if you lose, but it's also the opposite side for those people that are going through a hard time. If you lose more than you deserve to lose, you'll bounce back to the point that you deserve. So the question is, what do you deserve, and can you quantify what you deserve? You should be able to quantify what you deserve based off of your habits, based off of your results, and based off of the ecosystem that you create. And you pick up your head, you observe, and then you realize, this works or this doesn't work, and how do I optimize it?
Whatever get rich quick scheme you're looking at, whatever blow up my Shopify store trick you're looking for, whatever biohacking trick you're looking for that's going to make you ripped tomorrow, none of those things exist. The only quest that is real is self-improvement and self-actualization. That is it. In any problem that you're facing, the only way to truly address it is to turn inwards.
And I would say, to kind of wrap this up, don't take all these concepts and say, okay, these are true. Test us on what we're saying.
Yeah, I could be lying. He could be lying.
So take the routines, incorporate them for 30 days, and record it and ask yourself, okay, after 30 days, am I better or am I worse? And if you're worse, perfect, don't do it. And if you're better, perfect, take it for free. There's a reason why we're giving it to you for free. I'm not here sitting on a fucking yacht with Miami in the background, sitting on millions of dollars, wasting my breath, trying to convince you to better your life for no reason. Why? Because things work. And if we all collectively get better, then things get better. Things don't change because everybody complains. Nobody's actually out here acting. Nobody's actually out here putting effort. Why? Because they don't understand the very basic principles of natural law. Cause and effect. Action, reaction. Energy input, energy output. And like you mentioned in the beginning, and I'll wrap with this statement, it's not about what you can't control, the outwardly directed individual. It's about what you can control. Every single day by day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. So you eat better every day. You think about yourself better every day. You practice essential skills like sales, marketing, persuasion, personal development every single day and get better. And you train, and day by day, slowly, over a long period of time, you will lay those bricks, and when you zoom out, you'll have a beautiful wall of China, and people will marvel at it and think that it was built overnight, and some people will not even be able to imagine how it was built. But if you zoom in, it's brick by brick, day by day. It takes a lifetime. If you're here for a lifetime, might as well take day by day with excellence, because that's all you have.